Ranking every single stadium in the Premier League in today's video. As always, guys, please do subscribe if you are new, and in a couple of weeks, if you don't like the content, completely unsubscribe. I understand, but just give me a chance, please, and also like the video. That really does help me out, and comment if you disagree. If you agree, I want to hear people's opinions. I love a good debate in the comments. But yeah, we'll literally just get straight into it. I just wanted to quickly mention before we get in the video, obviously the Queen has passed away. And I think for all the people watching this, I understand that I do football content and it's not really related. But if just take a moment to, remember who she was, remember what she accomplished, because she was a wonderful woman, and she did this country proud so much. And realistically, she's one of the most influential and important people and women. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly put that in there before we do get into ranking stadiums. We're getting off with St James's Park. If I was being unbiased, which I won't be, I'd put it in average to bad, but that is 100% biased opinion, and realistically it is a very good ground. It's old, it's big, it's very unique, and it is a very nice ground, so very good for me would be an unbiased opinion on that one. Then we've got Goodison. I love this ground so much. I know why they're knocking it down. I understand the reasonings. I disagree with them personally. I think the character of that ground, I think it should be kept, but I understand that a lot of people want to go Everton matches, and it's not fair for them to have a smaller stadium than the club size, if that makes sense. So I do get it. But it's an amazing ground, and I don't want to hear any debate about that. Then we'll move on to Elland Road. I'm going to put it in very good, although I do think it is a definite shout for amazing here. A lot of people describe it as a shed, and I understand why, because it is rusting a little bit. It is getting a bit aged, and I don't think they're keeping up with the standards of it. But if you put that aside, it's a top ground. Then we're going with United. Amazing. I don't think there's a debate here. Even rival fans will agree. United is a gallery. 72,000 fans can fit into that stadium. It's very, very old, yet looks extremely modern. And to do that with such a big ground, it's top notch. A lot of people say it's fallen apart and stuff like that. I fully disagree, and I think that is a little bit of agenda against United there, but from a totally neutral perspective on this, it's a really, really good ground. Then we're going to move on to Fulham, Craven Cottage. If I could be fully like my opinion here, which it is to some extent, it's going in amazing, but I understand it probably shouldn't. I am going to put it in very good, but I realise why a lot of people put it in good, maybe average, maybe bad. I just think it's a work of art. The Victorian terrace feel on the outside, then you get in the inside, and it's just this like small yet cosy, yet like you're so close to the pitch. Just everything about it. It is a quality ground in my opinion, and it's on the riverfront, and it's getting a little bit of a modern redesign to it, which I like, as long as you keep the historic factors. So yeah, for me this is an amazing ground, but I understand it's low capacity. Some people don't particularly like it, so I get where they're coming from. And then we'll move on to Vitality. It is god-awful. I understand that I've just said all that about Craven Cottage, but no, Vitality's completely different. It's tiny, but then again, Luton's ground's tiny, and I am quite fond of that ground. But this is different. It's got gaps in the stadium, which I think is, like, it's horrible. Realistically, that's one thing. Each stand looks the exact same, which for me is a big no-no. And the only upside it has is it's not a bowl, but it's still shocking. And to be honest, it might be worse than a bowl in some aspects. But anyway, moving on to the City ground, good. This could definitely go into very good here. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. But yeah, the City ground is unbelievable. That's Nottingham Forest's ground. It's historic, it's big, it looks modern. It is literally, I'd say it's very similar to, I can't speak. It's very similar to Man United's ground in that aspect. But I'd say it is a little bit worse. But still, very good ground. Arsenal, very bad ground. It's very modern, it's very classy, it's very posh, but it's a big bowl with no character to it, and their old ground was 10 times better. Not that I ever went, or maybe I wasn't even alive when it was a ground, but from what I've heard and from what the pictures I've seen, why would they move? I understand that bigger clubs need bigger stadiums, but for me, building a ball that looks like that is not the way forward. But then again, a lot of people do like it. I'm probably in the minority there, so don't listen to me. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I don't particularly like it. It's a big ball and it's got no character. Then we're moving on to the Liverpool ground, that is Anfield. I am going in good. I would say average. I don't particularly like this ground. It looks very, very uneven. Like, it just looks like they've hoid a stand there, they've hoid a stand there. It looks like all parts of the stadium look like they're from different stadiums. The only thing that matches is the colour. So yeah, I'm not fond of this ground, but I do understand why people like it. Once again, it's big, it's old. It's a good ground, but for me, I don't particularly like it, but I am going to stick it in good. Then we've got West Ham's ground. It's shocking. It is the worst ground in this rankings, 100%. It's once again a massive ball, but to add on to the already failing in the stadium by building a ball is the fact that you are literally a mile away from the from the actual pitch. People pull out the binoculars during the West Ham games. The sound can't travel around, so the atmosphere, although West Ham fans are brilliant, even they can't uphold the atmosphere in the London stadium. The only good thing about it, and I said every stadium does have one good thing about it, and it is the facilities. The top notch. On the outside, they've redone everything. They've spent millions on it, maybe even $1 billion, but it looks horrible and the prices are ridiculous. But I'm not taking into account that, but there is something to be said about London prices. It's outrageous. Moving on to Selhurst Park, I love this ground, but I think it is only fair I put it in good because I feel like I love it more on the atmosphere than the actual stadium. But still, very good ground, very old. I like the way that it's big on one side and you've got the atmosphere section, and then it's small on the other, and there's roofs, so everything about it. It's a class ground. The colour scheme, yeah, brilliant. Then we're moving on to we're moving on to, I believe that to be the King Power. Yeah, we'll go with the King Power. It's a bad ground. I really want to put it in very bad. I'm going to put it in very bad. It is, again, a ball, but a small ball, so probably even worse than Arsenal Stadium. Yeah, no, it's not a nice ground. I don't actually think there's much to say about the King Power. I think even Leicester fans will agree. It's a shocker of a ground. But it's not as bad as the Vitality, and it's not as bad as the London Stadium, so at least they've got that going for them. But yeah, no, not a good ground. Then we'll go Man City's, and I understand it's a ball, but I am going to put it in bad, and not... No, you know what, we're putting it in average. I don't actually hate it that much. I understand, once again, I've just said all that stuff about being a ball and that, but it's not as ball-like. I need to stop saying the word ball. It's getting on my nerves. But, yeah, facilities around the ground amazing. The outside the ground looks very good with those blue rings around them. The inside the ground has got sections to it. So yeah, it's not too bad of a ground, but at the end of the day, it is it's a circular object. Then we're moving on to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This is where all the people who were agreeing with me up to this point are going to disagree. I don't like it at all, and I know that is a shocking opinion to have, but the inside, yeah, it's phenomenal. It is still a ball, but it is phenomenal, the inside. Just everything about it, it's massive, it's modern, it's everything about football. But the outside, it is vile. It looks like a massive spaceship landed in North London. How people aren't seeing this, I don't know whether I'm just completely delusional here, but for me, it's one of the worst grounds from the outside that I've ever seen. It is horrible, and to be honest, I think I am definitely in the minority with that one, but yeah, that's just my opinion. But don't get me wrong, it's big, it's modern, and it's what Tottenham needed. It's just not what I would look for in a stadium personally. And we're going with the Molineux. I'm going to go with good on that one, although, no, I'm going to go with average. I'm going back to good. The only thing that lets this stadium down for me, I really do like it, everything about it, it's big again, but it's also looks quite historic. The colour scheme, the stands look very nice. The only bad thing about it is there is a massive gap, and I'm talking a massive gap between stands. That really does let it down for me. That's why I was leaning towards average, but I'll give benefit of doubt and put them in good. Villa Park, yeah, this might be the best stadium in the league. maybe after Old Trafford, but Villa Park is just beautiful. Like, it is a thing of genuine beauty. The outside of this ground looks so historic, so royal, with the gates and the bronzing on the gates, and then you walk up those steps with all the bright orange bricks, and you think, wow, what historic ground. You move in the inside, and you've got this burgundy and blue, well, claret and blue, like modern big ground, and you think, yeah, to be honest, I'm waffling, but it's a brilliant ground. Let's not take the mick again. But we'll move on to Southampton. It's basically the King Power 2.0. I give it slightly better than the King Power, to be fair, but it's still not great. I don't think there's much to talk about on that one. Moving on to Brighton's ground, I'm going to put it in bad. I feel that's a bit unfair to have it with the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But yeah, Brighton's ground just looks a bit funky for me. I'm not too fond on it, I won't lie. Then moving on to Brentford, second worst ground in the league. It is horrible. Again, looks like an alien ship's landed in East London, maybe. I don't know where Brentford is, but yeah, it's far too modern for my liking. Like, so futuristic. I hate it. It's horrible. The like metal thing, like the actual like stadium, what it's built out of, the metal, like it scares me. I'm not gonna lie, that ground is scary. The atmosphere isn't though, but no, I don't like the ground. I'm waffling, but I don't like the ground. It's not nice. Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, the last one, the final one. I am gonna put that in very good, maybe amazing. I'll stick it in very good. Yeah, top-notch ground. That is quality. I know they have to move again. Basically, I think that is a little bit worse version of Goodison, but I think it holds 47,000, maybe 45,000, something like that. Anyway, it's a very nice ground. The stands all work together. The outside, there's hotels and everything about it. The looks from the outside, it's brilliant. I just understand they can't expand, so they are looking to move stadiums, but for me, I would stay at the Bridge because that is a very historic and a very nice ground. I do apologise for rambling. That will be the video. I've managed to bring this to 12 minutes. There's only 20 teams to talk about, so I've absolutely waffled here, but I appreciate everyone who watched this far, and just leave a like and a comment, and have a fantastic day, guys.